Brother Missing is the title. Bastian. My brother went off to fight the Black Ones. I've reason to think he stood in the great battle nearby. He's not returned to this day. Like many others, you'll say, and you'll be in the right. But if he fell, and I know it's like he did, I'd give him up to the ground the least, like our fathers have done always. I'd bury him near the burrow where our parents lie, not leave his corpse to be ate by corpsers prowling the battleground. So, I seek a man brave, able with a sword, and willing to venture out with me to find Bastion. I won't pay much, for I've not much to give, but I'm not stingy with gratitude, and sure to show it aplenty. Any man willing to help, look for a raised hut along the road to White Orchid. I made camp there. Soon, well done, bird. Now, my friends, let's go and check this quest before we go and find Yennefer.
Do that often? Talk to your dog?
It's my brother's, Bastion's, but guess he's mine now. See, Bastion fought the Black Ones in a battle just outside the village. Haven't had word of him since. I told him, do like I did, lose a finger or two so they won't recruit you. Too damn afeard he was. Bloody hell.
I'd walk the battlefield if I were you.
I did. Sea of corpses. And corpsers feeding. Someone told me they were feared of fire, so I took a torch, tried to chase them off. Horse shite, I tell you. Would have ended up eaten alive if it weren't for Hussar here. Listen, guessing you carry those swords for more than show. Come with me, keep the ghouls off. Help me find Bastion and I'll pay you well.
Fine, I'll help you. Just been a few days since the battle. Chances we find your brother alive are slim. Very slim.
I would have thought, but I want to find his body at least. So Bastion don't rot there in the sun with the Black Ones. Meet me on the hill overlooking the battlefield. We'll move on together from there. You're here, good. Bastion... his body must be here somewhere.
Among countless others. Want to examine them one by one? Could take a while.
You needn't fret. The recruits from White Orchid painted a small flower on their shields so as to be able to spot each other in battle. There was just a few of them. We look for the flowers, we'll find Bastion quick.
No offense, but many a soldier's dropped his shield. Especially if he was on the losing side.
If we find the shield alone, Hassan will catch the scent and lead us to Bastion. Come on. Sooner we get this done, the better.
Objective areas. Objectives will sometimes direct you to a general area. When the exact position of your target is unknown, go to that marked area. Missing in action. Let's try to help our friend here.
So many corpses. And the war's just started.
Let's help him find his brother. Tracks and clues. When you find tracks or other clues, walk close and then press E to examine them. Just found a shield. Let's see what will happen.
That him?
No. Doesn't look anything like him. Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy? Still nothing.
As the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's blessing. But still sad seeing all of this chaos.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son.
Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy?
Still nothing.
Let's Sandra's letters. Gusto, I've got something to ask him. I've come into possession of quite a stash of valuables. Don't ask how. Modesty prevents me from trumping the heroic deeds I performed in the fight for our beloved fatherland. At any rate, there's so damn much of it that there's no way in any hell I'll carry it back on my own. So, I put everything in a chest and buried it on the beach, at the base of the cliff with the two burned out huts. On it, we'd go crayfish hunting there, remember? So here's what you gotta do. Grab a wheelbarrow, throw a shovel in it, and take it to the beach. But make sure no one sees you. We'll load the treasure and sell it all in Vizima, and split the earnings 50-50, like family should. See you later, and remember, not a word to anyone. Shonen.
Skin's burned off. Might be hard to tell, I know, but could this be him?
Bastion was big, broad-shouldered. This one seems smaller, but maybe it's the fire did that.
He found him! Hussar's caught his scent! Come on!
But there is more. My lieutenant demanded we defecate on command. Ballista bolts landing all around, and all he could say was, "A soldier with a full stomach will not step onto the battlefield." Now shit, that is an order. Can you believe it? The cretin.
Stop! You're killing me. My ribs. It hurts to laugh.
That needs a tourniquet. But first, want to explain what's going on here?
Bastion! Has this Nilfgaardian captured you?
No. He saved my life. I got a cut to my side, and then got hit in the head. Couldn't see anything. Rosinia found me as he crawled across the battlefield. His legs twisted. And so we were. A blind man leading a cripple. Found this place.
I'm taking you home. We need to see to these wounds.
I won't leave Rosinia. Alone he'll die. And he can't go back to his home. He's deserted. They'll hang him.
And what if they find him with us? They'll hang us all, my Laisha included. No, the Blacken stays here.
What would you do in Geralt's place? Would you allow two people who saved each other in a war, one of them is left behind and dies? Or would you save them? Don't forget at the end of the day, my friends, we're all humans, and these two are the example of it. Surviving a war with all of their injuries by working together. Let's help the Nilfgaardian. Then, after all, he just saved the guy.
Bastion only made it with the Black One's help. Maybe you ought to show him Nordlings aren't as barbarous as Nilfgaardians make us out to be.
Well, I could give him our pa's clothes, teach him to work the field. But that accent... Fine, I'll take him in. Thank you, Witcher. Your reward, and the gods protect you.
Devil by the well. Good folk. I know there's a war, and every man's got trouble enough of his own. But perhaps there's one of you who could help a father in need. You all surely know how the well in the ruined village, and the devil that guards it with jealous fury. And if you don't know, well, come ask, and I'll tell you all about it. Whoever drives that monster away from the well will get a fat purse full of gold. Just don't tarry, for it's an urgent matter. Odilin.
Greetings, good man. Having trouble with your well? That's what I read.
Aye, 'tis haunted. Has been for a good 20 years.
20? So why'd you put out a notice just now?
'Cause earlier on we drew our water from the river. But so many corpses floating in it after the battle it's turned noxious. My daughter Mandy drank half a pitcher. Fell dreadful ill, can't keep nothing down. She grows worse by the day. Herbalist claims you fight a fever with drink. And not beer nor cider, but water. Clear, pure water. And where am I to get that if not from the well? But first, the ghost's got to be driven away. And it don't let any man near.
The horrors of war. As the Fallout antagonist says, war. War never changes. And that's the sad truth.
This ghost. Describe it for me.
Well, it's awful frightening. Awful.
I meant, what does it look like?
It looks like a woman, but fresh from the grave. Wears a dirty dress, all rags, its skin flaking off its bones, and it howls like it's suffering.
Some wraith. Or maybe an alp.
If you don't wallop it, master, if you don't take care of it, that is, it'll come kill me daughter.
You always have to show sympathy to people who suffer. But this is the job for a witcher. So let's negotiate the price.
I feel for you, but this is my job. So let's talk about my pay.
Something not right with the coin.
Haggling. To haggle for a high reward, choose an amount using the mouse and confirm by clicking the left mouse stick. If your counterparty accepts your offer, you've made a deal. If your offer is too high, your counterparty will grow annoyed, push too hard, and he or she will break off negotiations, such as real life. Now let's start negotiating. He's willing to give us 20 gold. Let's try to increase it.
If you could drop your price a bit, I'm sure we'd agree. That settles it then.
Let's start the quest to slay this wraith by the well.
Fine, I'll help. Where's this well?
In Havel, a settlement on the heights. It's abandoned now. No one ventures there on account of the ghost being about. Drive it off. Please.
The world is brimming with interesting places filled with danger or treasure. Such sites are marked on your minimap with the following icons: hidden treasure, dungeons, monster nests, places of power, people in distress, spoils of war, smuggler's cache, guarded treasure, abandoned sites, bandit camps, and finally, monster dens. Let's see what's close by that's worthy of interest. That's the wraith.
The infamous well. The moon wraith. Wonder what it's doing here. Strange, she's not attacking.
Devil by the Well. The residents of White Orchid had suffered more than their fair share of misfortunes. Passing armies had trampled their spring planting, a griffin had begun abducting their livestock, and the rotten icing on this painful cake, a new wraith haunted a nearby well. No wonder the locals called this final evil a devil. The Witcher could sense something bound her to this place, and that, in order to send her off into the eternal realms, he would first need to learn her secret. Once that was done, he would have to prepare for battle. And a Noon Wraith is a demanding opponent. She can disorient her victim by blinding him and creating mirror images of herself. These copies slowly suck their victim's life energy, while their mistress remains untouchable. In order to defeat her, the Witcher could not rely on his silver sword alone. A Yerden spell would also be needed to trap her and force her to take on a material form. Other vulnerabilities for wraiths, my friends, are the Moon Dust Bomb, the Spectre Oil, and the Yerden Sign. Despite what is commonly thought, peasants do not interrupt their labors at midday to get out of the sun. They do so to avoid moon rays. Vlad Raymond, from his book, Peasants and Their Customs. On particular searing summer days, when the sun reaches its zenith, rays will at times appear, resembling sun-scarfed women dressed in long white robes. These are noon rays, the spirits of young women and girls who died violent deaths right before their weddings. Driven mad with pain or anger, they wander the fields searching for their unfaithful lovers or backstabbing rivals, though they will kill anyone who does not get out of their way in time. They are often held in this world by some object of intense emotional significance. That is why if one ever finds a wedding ring or a torn veil in the middle of a field, one should not pick it up, but instead back away as quickly as possible.
Something's tied the Noon Wraith to this place. An object.
Whoa,
Something
got
she
too
needs
close.
before she'll leave
Not
this
too
world.
lucky.
She fled, but she'll be back tomorrow. Something's keeping her here. Bodies dried to a crisp. Signs of burns. Noonwraith did this. Noonwraith won't stray too far from the well.
Let's discover what's inside these abandoned houses. That will help us against the Wraith. But before that, let's start looting some stuff. Seems nothing is gonna help us in this house. Only thing that's unrealistic is people who would leave their stuff before abandoning this village. That house had nothing worse of notice.
Let's check the final house. Perhaps we'll find a book. Wink, wink.
A man, stabbed with a knife, died on the spot. Animals fed on his body, picked his skeleton clean. More bloodstains over there. But it's not his blood. A journal. Might be useful.
27th of the year 1250. It's happened. Volker sent a petition of our grievances against the Lord to the court at Vizima. Listed all the harm he's done us. How he killed Jonathan for not taking off his cap quick enough. How he trampled our fields when drunk with nary a thought of repayment. How he barged in during Peter's wedding and demanded his right of the first night. Now we finally got what we begged Militelli for in our prayers for so long. The judge recognized our grievances and waived all our bonds and duties to the Lord. He can finally strike out on our own. At least we can live as free men. 4th of the year 1250. The first day of our freedom. Hovel's not much of a village yet, but to my mind it's better than the most fantastic palace. Volker fumed our home with hazelwood smoke to drive out evil. Buried a marten under the gate to make sure no thieves cross our threshold. And then he gave me a bracelet, loveliest I've ever seen. Mother said it's foolish to spend so much on a bauble when we haven't plows nor hoes, and that we ought to return it to the merchant. Over my dead body, I'll never take it off. It'll always be there to remind me of Volker, of how happy we are that day. The last note in this journal. 23rd, 4th of the year 1250. They say the Lord is coming to see us, that he wants to make a deal, to beg us to return to the village. They say he's calm since his son died, that he's not as quick to anger about small slights. Well, we'll see. One way or another, I've no intention to move 1 inch from here. Now we discovered who this journal belonged to. Let's see what Geralt will say right now.
That bracelet might be what ties the woman's spirit to this place. Bloodstains, barely visible. Someone was dragged this way. Someone who was still alive. Palm prints in blood. Small hands. A woman's. Someone dragged her out. She was wounded. Fought for her life. No body in sight, but might still find some tracks. Under the right conditions, bloodstains can remain visible for decades. Another print by the well.
Sad to see that humans are worse than animals. Even though they say that humans are supposed to be the good guys. And you'll see why I say so right now.
Bloodstains. Almost faded. But the line's taut. Something's not right. A corpse, hanged by the bucket rope. Woman the journal belonged to. Must be. Wide pelvis, small jaw. A woman. Around 30, judging by the teeth. Left arm's missing. Need to cremate the remains. Gotta find the object that binds her to this place before I do, though. Was she wearing the bracelet from her husband? Might be why her arm fell off. Gotta jump down there. Hope I don't break my legs.
It's sad, you know, that Lord butchered his people. Humans will always be worse than monsters. Oh, and about the breaking his legs, it's an Easter egg, especially for Witcher 3 players. That's YOLO. Let's try to find that bracelet. Guess who found that bracelet?
Lucky not to come up empty-handed. A bracelet with an inscription. To Claire, from Volker. Bracelet must have belonged to the woman in the well. Lovely craftsmanship, but I'll have to burn it with the body to get rid of the Noon Wraith for good. Better do it near the well.
Item diagrams. Make diagrams craftsmen with the proper skills to have them craft item for you. I just found a nice poster we can make as a witcher. Let's try to leave this cave before we drown.
Need to prepare for this fight. Brew some wraith oil. Drink some potions.
Think about it logically. Why wouldn't the villager just come to this pond and drink the water from here instead from the well? Doesn't make any sense. But that's called gaming logic. And an oil and a potion. In order to use an item during gameplay, it must first be equipped using the inventory panel. Let's Just lucky enough, we already had some of the items to craft the Spectre oil, which, as you can recall before, does extra damage to specters, which in this case is the Wraith. Let's finally craft the bomb.
And the bracelet. Igni. Hey, I think it worked.
Guess who's angry right now?
What? Lost your nerve? She's gone. For good.
Even though we just put her to rest, still have to feel bad for that Spectre. She deserved a better fate.
Job done. The well was haunted by the ghost of a woman who was killed there. I drove it away.
I just hope every unburied wretch don't start haunting us. Well, that battlefield's gonna cause us a heap of trouble.
If they do, you know who to contact. Meanwhile, Claire, Volker, names ring a bell?
I don't know him. Though I did hear our herbalist Tamira mention a Claire once. Same one, maybe?
Your reward, Master Witcher. The gold I'd hid away for Mandy's dowry. Without you, she'd never have lived to wed. Now, let's hope for it at least.
This game shows us how Geralt can be the good guy. He can either take the gold and leave, or he can do this.
At this point, doubt I'll ever marry. You keep the coin from Mandy, her wedding. Raise a toast to my health then.
Thank you, Master Witcher. Them's warm words, you've a good heart. But I can't let you go empty-handed. Take this at least. For luck.
Don't forget, we just became the good guys. And we gave him the gold so his daughter can grow up and get married. But, as you can see, we're not stealing, we're just looting his house. If you think actually about the prices of the stuff we just took, it cost him more than the gold he gave us. It's both funny and sad at the same time. Instead of giving us the 20 gold, we told him to keep it for his daughter. But we we looted his house clean. For stuff that could almost reach 1,000 gold. It's actually funny and sad, but that's the logic of the game. Burying the bodies of hanged deserters and rebels is hereby strictly forbidden. Anyone caught trying to cut down hanging corpses will be summarily executed. General Merwin Rosen, Viceroy of the province of Temeria. In other words, this is the fate of deserters in war.
That's the sound of somebody saying the Witcher doing something crazy. Oh my god! Welcome to our shithole. Well, yeah. Oh god! Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's humor and just doing random stuff in games. Oh god! We try to be the good guy, but the game just allows you to have fun by being the bad guy. Right? We'll look for this thing later once it's safe.